Welcome to Tri-Valley Sports Final, your program for the best in local sports action. On this week's show, S.J. Martin helps lead the way as the Granada girls wrestling team sets their sights on a North Coast section title. Bella Kelton is outstanding at the plate as the Livermore softball team faces the Cappuccino Mustangs. And Thomas Paderaro racks up the kills as the Foothill boys volleyball team meets the Granada Matadors. All that plus NCS boys wrestling and much more right here on Tri-Valley Sports Final. Welcome back to Tri-Valley Sports Final. I'm Ian Bartholomew. On this week's show, we'll have highlights from the North Coast Section Boys and Girls Wrestling Championships. We'll also have Livermore softball, and we'll have boys volleyball as Foothill takes on Granada. But to get us started with wrestling, it's my co-host, Tim Sabrandi.
Great. Thank you, Ian. And it was the best of the best, NCS Boys Wrestling, as they recently took the mat at James Logan High School. And we will pick it up with the action. And there you see James Logan, the perennial host of the prestigious event. And there is 106-pound division Elham Hashimi taking on his competitor Roscoe Huacan of Las Lomas. Hashimi, only a freshman, gets the takedown and the victory, ultimately winning this one by a score of 9-5. Now we go in the third place match, Lightning Hazen of Dublin, and going against Grant Langstaff of Granada. Takedown here, up 3-0 at that point. Hazen would go on to win by a score of 4-1. So then we go to the first place match in the 132-pound division. Jake Baker of Granada, Miguel Rodriguez of James Logan. Baker would end up getting the early takedown. Here you see him with the escape, up 4-0 at this point. Then look at this, another takedown by Baker, and he would end up winning in a rout. Final score would end up being 19-1 for Baker. So congratulations to him. And there you see the ref raising his hand as Baker takes first place. 138-pound division would be Jack Bronte of Granada, Cole Schmidt of Windsor. Bronte, junior, up 4-0 at this point. And then we see here on top, in control with the takedown and just dominating throughout the match. There you see the ref raising his arm as he comes away with first place, 6-0 victory for him. More Granada action now, 150 pounds. First place match, Charlie Harrington taking on Trevor Economis of Monte Vista. Harrington would end up getting the reversal. They're battling at the edge of the match. Economis would be up 2-1 at that point after the escape. But then Harrington, you see here with his reversal of his own. This would be a battle throughout these two EBAL competitors, but ultimately Economis would end up winning 7-4. And there you see him with the victory flip. That's not something you see every day. Congratulations to him. 190-pound division now. William Chandler, Amador Valley. David Onenpat, Castro Valley. Both trying to gain the advantage. This would be a tight competitive match, but Chandler would end up winning narrowly by a score of 1-0. Now we go to the first place match. More EBAL action. Ronan McAllister taking on Lorenzo Seymour, American Canyon. Look at McAllister. Paces and then lifts and scores on a takedown. Up at this point by a score of 4-3. But Seymour would ultimately end up rallying late. He would get the win by a score of 7-6, narrow win, but a win nonetheless. Here you see the boys' team scores. Ukiah narrowly capturing first place, followed by Liberty and Granada. Amador Valley, meanwhile, finishing 8th, Livermore 17th. So good results from our local teams.
Yeah, and such a narrow battle for the team title. Granada just a few points away from winning it. They almost did a sweep,
Man,
as we'll see later. But
that would have been something. I mean, but Ukiah Liberty and Granada, I mean, just within points of each other. You don't normally see it that tight.
And big days, obviously, by Bronte, Baker, Hashimi, just some outstanding performances.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that's going to do it for the boys. Up next, we'll have highlights from the NCS Girls Wrestling Championships. Plus, a little later, we'll see the Foothill Boys Volleyball team face Granada. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Tri-Valley Sports Final. Before the break, we saw the top boys wrestlers in the North Coast section battle for both individual and team honors, as well as a chance to advance to the California State meet. Now we go to the girls. The Tri-Valley was well represented. 3 former state medalists from the area among the competitors. We go back to James Logan. Eliana Caro of Amador taking on Elise Domingo of Washington for the 100-pound title. Pick it up in the third period, tied at 1. Caro picks up a reversal to grab a 3-1 lead. Later on, she does it again, gaining control of the match. At this point, she leads 5-1. Caro then prevents any kind of comeback. She goes on to win this match 5-1. The referee raises her hand. Then she celebrates with her coach, Dennis Golcher. She would go 4-0 in the tournament. Next, we go to 120 pounds, one of the best in the country. 2-time defending NCS champion and state runner-up S.J. Martin of Granada taking on Aaliyah White of Casa Grande. Martin would gain control right away as she tries to set up a pin. Then she rolls White, putting her shoulders on the mat. Later on, she places White's arm on the mat. And just seconds later, she gets the pin. The referee raises her arm. Martin would go on to win the state championship and finished ranked number 1 in the nation. 125 pounds, another state medalist from last year, Miley Nguyen of Granada, facing Angelina Schlumpberger of Albany. Early on, Nguyen scores a takedown to grab a 3-0 lead. Now she escapes her opponent as the lead grows to 4-1. Later on, she registers another takedown, increasing her lead to 7-1. And to finish things up, she pins her opponent in the second period. She's fired up as she captures her first NCS title. The referee raises her hand. She would go on to finish 6th at state, earning a medal for the 2nd straight year. On to 130 pounds, another former state medalist, Lana Nguyen of Dublin, taking on Alexis Peregrina of Upper Lake. Right away, Lana scores a takedown. Later on, she picks up an escape. She leads 4-1 at this point. Then she records another takedown as the lead grows to 7-1. Third period now, Lana again picks up points. She would win by major decision, 14-4. The referee raises her hand as she captures her 2nd NCS title. And finally, we go to a 3rd place match at 145 pounds. A victory by Elena Nguyen Schertzer would earn her a trip to state. Here in control of the match. She gets the victory, defeating Ariel Zeidler of Casa Grande 14-6. Congratulations to her and all of our wrestlers. And there you see the final team results. Granada wins the NCS girls title with 136.5 points. Dublin, meanwhile, finishes 17th and Foothill 20th. So an impressive performance by the Matadors led by Martin and Nguyen. And both of them, of course, are going to wrestle in college and should do very well.
Just a dominant performance overall by Granada. I mean, both boys and girls, but particularly the girls, the way they, just complete control. Great showing for the East Bay Athletic League as well, having 5 teams right there in the top 20. And also want to give a shout out to Lana Nguyen of Dublin after having the loss at E-Ball to be able to bounce back and to come through with an NCS title. So a lot of character right there exhibited by her. From wrestling now, we're going to go to boys volleyball and 2 perennial EBL and NCS title contenders Foothill taking on Granada. And there you see Coach Cortez and the Matadors. And of course, the veteran coach as well, Dusty Collins of Foothill, as they break the huddle. We pick up the action here with the Falcons. Josh Salonga, nice pass to Thomas Pudabaru. Nice job there. Now we see Salonga again, this time the pass to Winter Alexander for one of his 9 kills. Now off the serve, Matt's on the return, and there's Alexander with the key block and another point for the Falcons. Foothill again, Vidada to Salonga. This time it's Trey Elson with the kill. Foothill up at this point by a score of 9-6. Another nice pass there by Josh Salonga, helping to set up a point for the Falcons. Granada would start to rally back as we see Braden Benjamin. Nice pass, Dylan Bell gets the kill. Different combination this time. Xander Dennis to Benjamin. And now it's Jared Cortez, too much to handle. That one's blocked way out of bounds. Now we see the Mats on the defensive end. It would be Cortez again with the block and the point. So here, another pass and another block. This time it would be Jeremy Sun of Foothill showing some defensive prowess on that one. Now Salonga to Sun. And here we see Rochelle Vidada, Foothill up 16-11. Granada responds on the next play. Xander Dennis, Chase Donaldson, and this time it's Noah Bourbano with the kill from the left side. Foothill responds. It would be Trey Elson with one of his 7 kills after the nice pass from Salonga. Here we see Salonga again, setting up Jeremy Sun for one of his 11 kills. Foothill starting to stretch its lead at this point, up 21-17. Now we see Cortez, though, keeping Granada in it with the block. Bell now serves. Falcons would return it. And look at Benjamin, nice little shot that drops through. Granada up 22-21 as that one is close. Here we see the Falcons setting it up. Nice kill there. It would be close throughout, but Foothill would end up taking that one 25-20, and they would go on to win in 5 sets. As you see, Patararu and Josh Salonga helping to lead the way for the Falcons. Currently a half game behind leading San Ramon Valley, but wide open race in the EBAL.
Yeah, and just so many good teams in the EBAL. As always, we have Dublin, of course, contending. Livermore having a huge year so far, and then we've got a lot of other teams. Amador just knocking on the door.
They're right there, yeah. And De La Salle will have something to say about things in the end. So it's going to be fun to watch how the final standings shake out to see who makes the playoffs for E-ball and ultimately NCS.
And you see Foothill just rounding into shape, 5-1 in league. They're making their playoff push right now.
As tends to be the case. Yep. We've seen this script before.
Right, exactly. And that's going to do it for volleyball. Up next, we'll go outdoors for softball as the defending EBAL champion Livermore Cowboys face Cappuccino of San Bruno. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Tri-Valley Sports Final. It's been a good start for the Livermore softball team. The defending EBAL champs began the year by winning 5 of their first 6 games. Recently, Livermore looked to keep the momentum going as they hosted the Cappuccino Mustangs. We go out to Livermore. Cowboys excited to play this morning contest. Their senior all-league pitcher, Casey Norton, on the mound, and she would pitch well. She'd also get some help from her defense. First inning, 1 on. Kimber Dow guns the throw to second for the out. Lane Makoski with the tag. We move ahead to the bottom of the second. Gianna Willis heads to first after being hit by a pitch. Later in the inning, Casey Norton lines one off the pitcher. She reaches base safely while Willis moves to second. 2 on for Grace Phillips, who drives a hit to center. The throw home is not in time. Willis scores. Cowboys grab a 1-0 lead. Phillips goes to second. Bella Kelton follows with a base hit to right. That plates courtesy runner London Jones to make it 2-0. Kelton holds it first with an RBI single. Norton, meanwhile, would cruise along. Here she gets a strikeout in the third inning. Then she comes right back and fires another. She had 8 in the game while allowing 0 walks. We move to the bottom of the third. Kimber Dow lines a ball to left. It's dropped. Dow rounds first and slides into second with a double. She would then move to third on a Makoski fly ball. Gianna Willis then rips a hard shot off the third baseman. She holds it first. Dow scores to make it 3-0. More defense in the fourth for Livermore. 1 on, a liner up the middle. Norton snags it and throws to first for the double play. That retires the side. In the bottom of the fourth, Norton singles to center. That's her second hit of the day. Bella Kelton then follows with a line drive to left. She alertly slides into second after the bobble. Both runners, however, would be left stranded. We move to the fifth. Kimber Dow grounds a base hit through the infield into left. Her second hit of the day. She would go on to steal second, then go to third on a wild throw, then hear it scoring on another error. That makes it 4-0. Move ahead to the bottom of the sixth. Norton walks. Grace Phillips then singles to left. Her second hit. Courtesy runner London Jones moved to second while Phillips holds it first. Both runners would advance on a wild pitch. Bella Kelton then delivers with her third hit of the game. That plates Jones and Phillips. And that would be enough as Livermore goes on to blank Cappuccino 6-0. Casey Norton tosses a complete game 3-hitter with 8 strikeouts to earn the win. The offense, meanwhile, delivered 6 runs with Kelton, Dow, Phillips, and Norton combining for all 9 hits. Afterwards, the Cowboys said they're pleased with how the season is going.
Things are going pretty good to start. We've been working really hard on our defense, and we just took a break to work on our offense, but our team's working so hard this season.
It's been an amazing season. We've grown really together as a team. I think that we focus a lot on our defense. We pride ourselves in that, and this week we took a step back and we focused on our offense, and it really showed today. So we've been working hard.
The season's going really good. The team's coming out together well. And I feel like we're putting in a lot of work, and it's all coming out and paying off, and we're playing for each other. We're looking forward to E-ball and NCS, and we're just gonna work for it, and we'll see how it goes this season.
We had a really good game. We've been working really hard trying to string along those hits together, so we've been working off that pitching machine, and it's been showing. It's been working a lot for us. We're really excited. We're expecting to go far. We want to win every single game that we can. We're excited to play at home with most of our games being home, so hopefully we have a big crowd and to cheer us on, and we're going to do amazing, just like we always do.
Cowboys have since picked up 2 more wins. They have 2 more games to go before the Livermore Stampede tournament, which begins on April the 9th. They're 8-1 in the midst of another strong season, and this program has won 3 of the last 4 EBAL championships. They also advanced to the NCS Division II finals in 2023 and 2024, and they played in the Division I semis last year. So Coach Palazzo and his assistants have this program on a roll, and just very successful, and they've just had a great last few years.
Yeah, a mini dynasty in the midst, and if Horton and Makoski are your battery, with all the other weapons and the great defense, Livermore's poised to make another run this year. We'll be back with more, including our Tri-Valley Sports Final Athlete of the Week, right after these messages, so please stay with us.
Our Tri-Valley Sports Final Athlete of the Week is Livermore softball player Casey Norton. An all-EBAL selection last season, Casey is off to another good start. In her first 5 games, she was 4-1 with a 1.17 earned run average. She also ranks among the team leaders with a .350 batting average. For her excellence on the diamond, Livermore's Casey Norton is our Tri-Valley Sports Final Athlete of the Week. Congratulations to her. And on our next show, we'll see the Cowboys in action once again as they take on Amador. And we'll also see the Dons again a second time next week as they face the high-scoring Granada Matadors. So we get a double dose of Amador coming up next week.
We double dose of Amador, and then followed after that will be the Livermore Stampede. So a lot of great softball as E-ball starts coming into play, as you get these prestigious tournaments like the Stampede, and a lot of our teams right in the mix.
And we'll also have some volleyball, a pair of EBL title contenders scoring off. Livermore, who's really made an impact this season, taking on Dublin.
Yeah, Dublin off to a great start, but Livermore a program on the rise, and we've seen it year after year, and this could be a good matchup between two good teams. And
we're also going to have some girls lacrosse. Dublin, a playoff team last season, league champs actually, right?
Yeah, it was a historic season for the Gales last year.
I think they were undefeated, weren't they?
Yeah, in league they were.
They're taking on the Granada Matadors.
Yeah, so, good matchup. Dublin graduated a lot of players. Granada, another program on the rise. So, even match, and they have the split now in the league. So, every game is competitive and has bearings on the league standings.
And that's going to do it for this edition of Tri-Valley Sports Final. Tim Sabrani, me and Bartholomew, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.